Welcome to Up Sports Podcast, your new go-to pod for sports, entertainment, culture, and humor. Today we talk about the insane NBA playoffs, Kevin Durant's injury, Jameis Winston, NFL over-unders, and we go through our Q&As. I'm Brock, and we teed up. Let's get right into it with the NBA playoffs. Last night's Warriors-Rockets Game 5 was absolutely incredible. The Warriors managed to narrow out a win without Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant will be out for the rest of the series as he had a calf sprain. Some people are calling it an Achilles injury. It's really up in air right now as to what it is. What are your guys' thoughts on the Kevin Durant injury, and how will this affect the Warriors? And also, how will this affect Kevin Durant's future?
I think personally this is a great look. I mean, this is just Kevin Durant getting what he deserves after switching up teams like that, leaving OKC going to the Warriors.
Well, what he deserves.
I was not expecting
that. No.
I hope he's out for a little longer. Keep him out.
This dude is
Hopefully
mean.
the Rockets can just come in here and they just got to finish this up. That's the opportunity. If they lose now, I don't know. That's horrible.
First of all, I don't know where this hate came from.
That was real hater shit.
It's a bad look. I mean, the Warriors, they're going to have to execute now. I think the Rockets got this. They got to win next game. They have to.
I think this could go two ways. So one, for the Rockets, they don't win this series. I mean, you had a golden opportunity they had a golden opportunity to win game 5. You know, this game was tied headed into the fourth quarter, 79-79, and they didn't manage to take it. Obviously, the Warriors clutched up. Curry had some buckets. Clay had a couple good I think he had 1 3, and he was just having a good game overall. Draymond hit a big time 3. So for the Rockets' perspective, they had a golden opportunity last year, then Chris Paul got hurt. So that's like their sob story. Now you look at it this year, they have another golden opportunity. They had a golden opportunity in the fourth quarter, Game 5. They could have easily taken that game and potentially won the series in 6, but they didn't. So now they have to win this Game 6 at home and then win this Game 7. But on the flip side for the Warriors, say they don't win this series, what does that say about their legacy? That Kevin Durant, carried them to their 2 championships when he was on the team. They had that finals loss to LeBron. He didn't carry, but he won the MVP. He won the finals MVP both times. So not carry, but carry's the wrong word. But he was the main player for the team. If the Warriors lose this series without Kevin Durant, what does that say about guys like Curry, guys like Clay? Does it kind of diminish the legacy of the team?
I don't think it fucks up their legacy at all. I mean, Clay and Curry are both solidified as elite players in the NBA. I know Curry, when playoffs hit, he doesn't really show up, but he's still an elite player. I mean, this series, he's been looking pretty horrible, I'm not going to lie, but that's nothing new. He never shows up. But I think it's more of a KD thing. It kind of fucks up, not his legacy, but definitely this season. This is supposed to be his last season. He's going to New York or whatever. He's going to go out sad, as you like to say.
Yeah. I mean, what about the Rockets? What does it say about the Rockets if they can't finish the series?
They have to capitalize.
They have to.
If they don't, I kind of lose a little bit of respect for them.
Bro. To me, I think the person who has the most pressure is Chris Paul because he went 3 for 14 last night. And last podcast we were talking about it, me, Ty, and Kev, where he was just we were calling him overrated. He was really just having a bad series. He has 3 years left on this contract too after this year with the Rockets. To me, this is his golden opportunity. He's always wanted to win a championship. He's got to show up. He has a matchup now where he could guard Curry. He doesn't have to worry about Kevin Durant or anything. They got to do their job. And the Rockets for this Game 6, the Vegas currently has a line as Rockets -7. So they're heavy favorites to win this Game 6. What are you guys' thoughts on Game 6 alone?
I'm taking Rockets by landslide. Not even close.
I don't really know about a landslide because you really got to think about it. This team got hurt, and it's. Really
I didn't mean they're gonna win by a landslide. I just meant I'm taking them, no question about it.
Yeah. I know what you mean. This team, it's kind of like just the Warriors back when they ain't have KD almost. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they're a horrible team. Still, they still got Curry, still got Draymond, still got KD. I mean Clay, not KD. But all I know is just do or die for the Rockets. They gotta win. That's all I can say. There's no excuse for them losing. You must win this game.
They do have a ring without KD, so it's not going to fuck up their legacy at all. But Rockets got to capitalize. This is it. This is their chance to go to the finals and take over. This is it.
I also agree. I think the Rockets are going to take this Game 6. The reason being is the mismatch of the series has been Kevin Durant. Curry's been having some questionable performances. before that fourth quarter, he was having a terrible game. You know, he really saved himself in that fourth quarter, making some clutch buckets because we were, you know, making Ayesha Curry jokes. We're gonna get into that too, that whole Ayesha Curry situation. But he was having a bad game, and really, like, Kevin Durant has been the main factor versus the Rockets. That's, you know, he kind of won them the first 2 games essentially. Now the Rockets, they just got to do their thing by guarding Curry and Klay. You know, make the other guys beat you, make Draymond beat you, Iguodala, because quite frankly they probably can't. So I think the Rockets, they have a really golden opportunity here to take Game 6, and maybe take this series and have an opportunity to go to the finals.
That's all it is, do or die. Like Chris Paul, you need to perform. Like, don't mess around, perform, and they will win. If Chris Paul performs, they will win.
Chris Paul isn't going to show up at all.
Oh, last game, 3 for 14 from Chris Paul?
Yeah.
0 for 6 in threes. That's horrible.
I was watching that game right up until the fourth quarter, and I went to bed, and
He's the only person in the world who went to bed fourth quarter.
I couldn't stay up anymore.
Like, it wasn't a close game.
Let's talk about Ayesha Curry, though. This was kind of like a big media thing. So Ayesha Curry said that, you know, she gets a little bit jealous that Curry gets all these attention from females, which makes sense. He's like one of the biggest names in NBA history. And then she was saying how she's basically upset that she doesn't get the same male attention, and at times, you know, she's a little bit jealous of the fact that Curry gets all these females' attention and that he's so oblivious to it. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think, like, Ayesha Curry should say something like that? I mean, me personally, I don't think she should, like, regardless of what she thinks, like, just don't say that. Especially, it's the playoffs. Like, he's about to go for his, you know, another ring. Just stop. Just stay off the media for a little bit. In the summer, you could say something like this, but yeah, like right now, this is just unwanted attention for the Curry family and for the Warriors, to be quite frank.
I mean, I get where she's coming from.
I don't.
I don't either. I was trying to stick up for her, but I mean, you have 3 kids.
Ungrateful, bro.
Like,
that is ungrateful. That is an ungrateful thing to say.
You have 3 kids with this guy. Why do you care about what guys think about you if they're trying to get at you? Like, why do you care? Who cares?
The funniest shit I saw an Instagram comment. Some guy said, "Damn, spit in my mouth, mommy. That's what you want to hear." That was hilarious because, like, that is like what you don't really want thirsty guys in your DMs. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. To be honest,
to show you just can't please women. If she get attention,
this is you can listen to Ty's women podcast, Ty the therapist, Apple Podcasts. He gives you dating tips and advice. Anyways, let's get before I make fun of Ty even more, let's get into this Bucks Celtics series. We're really gonna cut into him. Bucks win the series in 5, and no game was even close besides the first one. And even that game wasn't close. The Celtics won that one in a blowout, but the Bucks just manned up and they looked like the better team the whole way. What went wrong for the Celtics?
Kyrie.
Yep, I think
Kyrie
so too.
Irving.
Okay, Marcus Smart, he had a quote. He said that you can't really blame it. Like, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but he said you can't blame it all on Kyrie because, you know, there's 15 guys on the team, even though half of them don't play. There's a coach, there's a staff, yada, yada, yada. You can't put all the blame on Kyrie. Me, personally, I think you can, though, because his game, he had terrible games. Like, he had one good game, game 1, and the rest were terrible. He's your star performer. He wanted to lead a team. He wanted to be the guy on a team. So when you're a star player, you know, regardless if you're like the main star or not, like for example with Chris Paul, he's not the main star, so he's an asked to, you know, carry the team essentially every single game. But Kyrie was the main star. This is the role he wanted. He basically begged to get out of Cleveland for this position. The Celtics were in a good spot before him, so like the pressure is on Kyrie, and he didn't show up. So I think really you can't put obviously every single blame on Kyrie, but you could definitely. I mean, they lost in 5. It wasn't like they lost in 7 in a heartbreaking fashion. Then yeah, you can't put on Kyrie, but he definitely lost. That's his fault. He didn't score well at all. He didn't carry the team at all. Didn't make any clutch shots. Shot poorly. To me, I'm putting all the blame on Kyrie. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think this affects where he goes next?
I'm definitely blaming Kyrie. He's the leader of that team, the so-called leader. I'm not disrespecting him, but if you're the leader of that team, you got to step up. You got to like do your thing. Come on now. He played horrible 3 straight games. That's sad. I mean, hold on. Ty is a Celtics fan.
Ty's got to talk about this because this is his team. This isn't my team. Kyrie's a future Knick.
Ty. What do you think about this?
Like, Kyrie's a sellout. He sold us out. He sold us out those last 4 games. We played horrible in all those games. I think he was shooting like definitely under 40% for all of them. Like, seeing games 33%. It's just terrible. When you look at it, it's just like, damn, is this like a lot of pressure on Kyrie now? He's not performing. I'm looking at Kyrie like, this man probably doesn't even care. He's ready to punch his ticket out. And that's fine, because I kind of want him out, you know. I feel like if we had IT in this situation when he was healthy,
get the fuck out of here.
A healthy IT before the hip, that would have been a much better like series day. He wouldn't have been like that. He's gonna be scoring buckets.
Maybe if IT was like 6'5", it's terrible.
Bro,
the Bucks.
He was averaging 29.
Kyrie got exposed because the Bucks are a tall team. He couldn't do anything at the rim. He was just really like all his shots were contested or difficult shots. That's the reason he couldn't get a shot off. You know, so I think IT definitely wouldn't help there. But I mean, where do you guys think Kyrie's headed? Like, is there any chance he returns to the Celtics?
I seen a picture the other day, and it said the team favored. He's not going back to the Celtics. I don't think we want him back either. We're gonna hopefully we can try to get him.
It's really not like out of question though.
It's not out of question. Yeah. But hopefully we can like get a pick for him. Maybe get him out before he gets out.
He's a free agent. You can't get anything for him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so he's donezo.
Well, yeah, but I think I seen something saying he might go to the Nets. I don't really understand that. Why
I don't think he should.
Kyrie to the Nets.
And after the Nets, it was the Knicks. So the Knicks favorite up after the Nets. I mean, I don't see why he would go to the Nets if I'm being honest. Like, they have D'Angelo Russell, that's an all-star point guard.
Kyrie's a better leader.
Why would they add another all-star point guard to the team?
Well, yeah.
You move D'Lo to the shooting guard.
I don't know if that's gonna work too good.
Why not?
D'Lo has to get paid too. D'Lo's also a free agent. So
D'Lo is a free agent.
The Nets only have one.
Why wouldn't that work?
The Nets only have one.
That's a good combo. They going to sign one max. Like, I don't know if they want to
put
that on Kyrie. They already have a point guard.
Is D'Lo a better leader than Kyrie?
I'm not saying he is. I'm not
He's
saying
too young.
He's not. I'm just saying they have a point guard already. Like, they don't need him. Why don't they spend that money, get like a big? They definitely need a big.
Jared Allen is good.
No, not a big.
But
look at the free agents. They can get Tobias Harris. They can bring in Jimmy Butler. They can get KD. They got a shot at KD.
KD's going to
Kawhi Leonard, DeMarcus Cousins.
To the Nets.
All these guys are
not
free.
Going to the Knicks.
KD's going to the Clippers. All these guys are free agents. Like, I don't think they should just jump at Kyrie. You know, if they didn't have a point guard, it makes sense. But they have D'Angelo Russell. He's a good point guard. He had an all-star season. I don't see.
I mean, after this series, I don't think a lot of teams are going to like be jumping at him anyway. But he's still
going to get
paid. But it's not going to be like no KD situation.
I'm going to say he's going to go to the Knicks. I don't really want him personally. Like, I'm a Knicks fan, so this is my fandom talking. I'm very like unbiased with every sport. You know, I have my teams that I'm a fan of, all New York teams.
Eric, I don't want Kyrie. I don't want take anyone.
I don't want Kyrie. Like, to me, like this is literally what I've been preaching. No, I'm not Aisha Curry, but this is exactly what I wanted. Like, this is what I've been saying about Kyrie. You know, this series really exposed him, and I'm just saying like he's not the number one guy. If we get KD and Kyrie, that's cool. I'll take that. You know, who wouldn't? But I mean, me personally, like his attitude is a little off for an NBA player. I kind of disagree with some of his antics. He is a weirdo. Like that's just put it simply, he's a weirdo. So and his game, you know, in the modern NBA, you know, you're looking at the East. The East is filled with tall, athletic guys. You know, look at the Sixers, they got Ben Simmons. You know, look at the Bucks, they got Giannis. You look at the Raptors, Siakam is becoming like a breakout star. It's all these tall, like really athletic dudes. He needs to just figure out a role. Like, a team like Denver would be a cool fit for him, even though it's not going to happen. But, like, he needs a team that's, like, really supportive. Like, the Spurs would be cool for him. I don't know.
He should have went before Celtics. That's what I thought. But
I think they made an offer.
They did. Yeah.
To me, he just, like, being a star, you know, playing, like, that pickup basketball style. You know, Brad Stevens, you would think he'd fit in the system, but just didn't. You know, defensively, he's not that good. Offensively, he's kind of selfish. So, I don't know. I think he's just in a bad spot right now. Let's talk about this Raptors-Sixers series, though. The Raptors take a 3-2 series lead in a 35-point victory in Game 5. Like, they really stepped up. The Raptors' role players were incredible. Danny Green had a good night. Serge Ibaka had a really good night, believe it or not. Kawhi obviously did his thing. Siakam. Kyle Lowry had a good night as well. They really made a statement game in this Game 5. I don't know if it's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on the rest of the series?
I mean, the Sixers is like Ty's second team, so this is he's probably having a bad weekend. But
personally, like, this is how I feel about it. You know, games come on at nighttime, and you know, at night I wake up like really, really early. So at nighttime sometimes I be getting a little tired. You know, so I turn on the Philly. I'm with Max. We're watching this Philly and with Oates, watching this Philly Raptors game. And, you know, if the game's good, I'm gonna watch the game. And I'm watching the game. It's just like, wait a minute. Look at the score again. They're down like 20 points. That's it for me. I'm going to bed. I didn't want to see nothing else after that. I just dozed off, ate a couple of my wings, and went to sleep.
Ty texted the group chat at 6 in the morning when the Clippers came back, like, they won?
Yeah, they were down by so much. I said, man, forget this game. I'm going to bed. And then they came back. That was crazy.
I mean, me personally, like, what I think about the Sixers, they're just a bad team. Like, there's no other way around it. I said it last podcast.
That's cap.
They are.
Yeah,
they're just
not
bad. Like,
team. They're in the playoffs. Like,
Yeah.
Let's gotta stop disrespecting teams, bro.
right.
Teams are in the playoffs for a reason.
Okay,
like,
they're
just not bad
they're-
teams.
yeah,
They're
all right.
They're not.
they're a bad.
Finals caliber. Like,
They're the
or
worst
something
team in the
like that.
playoffs right now. How about that? That's fair. They're easily the worst team in the playoffs right
I
now.
got the Sixers over. I got the Sixers over the Blazers.
Celtics aren't in the playoffs
Yeah,
anymore.
I got the Sixers over the Blazers.
All right, whatever. We're not gonna get into this. But
Oh,
regardless,
yeah, Blazers
I
probably
think
the
the
worst.
Sixers are just
Blazers
bad.
yeah.
Defensively, they're terrible. Offensively, they're kind of a mess because no one could shoot. And you would think Ben Simmons would be aggressive. You'd think Embiid would be elite, and it's just not the case.
Ben
Like,
is pussy.
the reality of the situation is they're just not performing up to par. Defensively, they're like, honestly, I can't really stress enough how bad their defense is. Like, they really don't even try on defense. It's like they play like regular season defense. Honestly, in the regular season, I've seen them play better defense.
Yeah.
So like, to me, it's just confusing. They have all these like star players or all these guys that are capable of being superstars, and it's just not showing on the court. To me, it's like, I don't know. Do you guys think they have any chance to win tonight? That game is on in like 30 or so minutes.
I don't at all. What last night or last game showed me? Yeah, what do you mean? Sheesh, they're not winning, bro. What last game
It's
showed me
Philly's
is
home though.
Yeah.
last game showed me how scary
guess
Kawhi
so.
is. Kawhi is like becoming like my second favorite player in the
Nah,
league.
Kawhi's dirty.
Tries.
Yeah, I always have respect for him as a defender though. His offense is insane. I don't know if like
He's learned. Yeah, he got better.
yeah,
Like,
he got way better.
I
He's,
said
like,
this on the
almost-
last podcast. He had a year off. Like, how much do
Yeah.
you think that affects your game? You know, you have like
yeah,
less
that's
fatigue
ridiculous.
completely. Like, it's just a lot of things you could say. But honestly, like, what are my thoughts on the game for tonight? By the time you guys hear this, most likely the game will be over. So I'm gonna give some respect to the Sixers. I'm gonna say they maybe could take this game 6. But regardless of the situation, to me, if they win tonight, it's purely because of just the home crowd and just the
Yeah,
Raptors
that's
playing
what it
bad.
is.
It's not like they're going to win this game because they're the better team by any means. I don't know if they could pull off another road game. I think the Sixers are just going to have to essentially get lucky and just win the game.
Yeah, we're looking at like the Sixers might win this game. Last home game you got Joel Embiid who's doing the airplane thingies. That ain't come back too well. You can see what happened when Drake was shooting them out at the Raptors arena, but they're home again. They might win it, they might not. Philly is looking kind of bad, but we keep saying, "Oh, Philly looks bad. Maybe the Raptors are just too good. That could be Kawhi. The Raptors might just be
that.
too good. Like Philadelphia's just not ready for that.
All right,
We'll see tonight though.
I gotta throw a question out there. I already know Max agrees with this, but I'm sure you guys heard this. But is Kawhi a better clutch performer in the playoffs than Kobe Bryant?
Not a chance.
I already
not-
know
not a
Max.
chance,
Max
not a
thinks
chance,
he
bro.
is.
I don't.
You can't compare. Wait, stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
I
You
can't
can't
compare.
compare
I'm not gonna
like
talk about
Kawhi and Kobe because Kobe has done so much to little to what Kawhi has done. Right now, Kobe's a what? 5-time champion. He's MVP. All these things he's done. Kawhi Leonard's got what? 1 chip. You can't compare them right now. It's just way
it's
too
being
early.
talked about. I definitely don't think it is.
Way too early. But that's just like media. I feel like it's way too early. In
Yeah,
Kawhi's
no, that's-
career. When his
Max,
career's
Max
over,
fell into it though. He
when
fell
his
into
career,
the hype.
he believed a little bit of the hype.
A
But
little
when
bit, just
his
a
career's
little
over,
bit.
let's talk about it.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I said.
Let's
That's
not
basically
even-
what I said. I said,
can't really talk about that right now.
he's young. Like, he's gonna have so much more years
If
left
he's
ahead
moving
of
at this
him.
pace, though, he could be better than Kobe.
Yeah,
if
that's
he
fair.
continues.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, anyways, let's get into the Nuggets Blazers series, which is also going on tonight. We can't really give out our picks on any of these games because by the time you guys hear it, the games are gonna be over. So it kind of sucks. Like the way we record Monday and Thursday, it's kind of like awkward to record on the night of the games. But last game, the Nuggets take a 3-2 series lead, another dominant Game 5 victory. This game was honestly like worse than the Raptors game. Like the Nuggets were blowing the doors off the Blazers. The Blazers never had a lead in this game. The Nuggets just took over. Jokic had 25 points, 19 rebounds, 6 assists. Jamal Murray was having a good game. I mean, the Blazers are just, to me, I think the Blazers are definitely capable of losing tonight. They're just not a good team. Like, really, they get exposed. Enes Kanter can't guard anybody. The pick and roll is too dominant. The role players have to have perfect games for the Blazers to even have a chance. I don't know. I mean, this series, like, theoretically could already be over. The 2 games the Blazers won were both, like, coin flips. it's going to need some serious Dame magic or whatever they call that.
All right.
For
First
the
of
Dame
all,
dollar time, whatever they call it. They're going to need a lot of luck,
Let's
basically.
go Nuggets.
First of all, Blazers are a good team. You're just out here just talking shit.
I don't have no reason
How
to
are
hate
they
the
not?
Blazers.
They're in the playoffs. Like
Okay,
Blazers
obviously, but, like-
Blazers are a good team.
they're a good team.
Yeah.
No one. I mean, Blazers
you see
fans,
what happened last round. There's a good team. Like they're in the playoffs for a reason.
I'm not even like a
They
huge.
won 2 games against the Nuggets. My bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
even
know,
a huge
I'm a Nuggets
Blazers
guy.
fan, but the amount of shit Max talks about Dame just makes me like the Blazers more, and I don't know why.
Because
Like,
my thing with Dame is really not with Dame himself. It's with the hype surrounding him. No, it's really
There's
nothing.
no
There's
hype.
so much hype around
there is
him.
no hype.
Every
There's
day
a-
I go on Twitter.
Currently, there's hype
Every
because
day.
he's in the playoffs.
Every day I go on Twitter. Shout out at TU Sports Pod on Twitter. We follow a couple pages. ESPN, Bleach Report. This couple writers, beat writers, stuff like that. Every day. It's like, oh, can Dame win this game? Oh, the Rockets don't want to play Dame. Oh, the
He's the
Warriors
star
don't
of
want to
that
play
team.
Dame.
It's
But like
That
they
game
do
is
want to
coming
play
on. The
Dame.
game is
Everyone
coming
wants
on.
to play Dame. He isn't successful. So
The game-
why the hype I see around this guy is ridiculous. He's good. He's really good. But he's not even that much better than CJ McCollum. It's just annoying to see this. He's getting locked down, completely locked down. He's being completely exposed. He had one good game 1, similar to Kyrie. And they didn't even win the game when he won. So, he's just been having, kind of subpar performances. Obviously, he's a star. Obviously, he's good. He's obviously an all-star, whatever. But he's not leading the team to success. They need other guys to step up. So I'm not hating on Dame, not even hating on the Blazers. I'm just saying, this team is no match for Denver. Obviously the series is close. The 4 overtime game, that could have went any way. You know what I mean? They win that game, Denver, the series is over.
Go to sleep at night too.
Yeah. Well, we were all pretty intoxicated watching that game. 4 overtime, it's 2 in the morning. Give us a break. We don't have to know everything that happened.
David Lillard, he's good, but I think we just can't judge players, just off the hype. You know what I'm saying? Let's just judge them off the content of how they play the sport. Put the hype to the side. Put all that other stuff. Players get hyped up. I mean, that's how it is. Some people got favorite players. Some people like players more than others. But it's judging by the gameplay. David Lillard, he is a little hype here now, but he's not a bad player. I'm not saying he's a bad player at all. And that's really that. I don't think they're gonna win against the Nuggets, but
All right, now that the playoffs are basically coming to an end, there's a chance that all these series end except the Warriors-Rockets tonight as the night we're recording this, which I don't think is going to happen. I think one of them is going to go to 7, but as we're recording tonight, one of these games, or potentially both these series could end. What are our finals picks? Obviously, we did this, I think, in the second or third pod. We gave out our finals picks, but, a lot has changed. The Warriors don't have KD for the rest of the series. Maybe they won't have him for the finals. We don't know that yet, but, we're going to kind of play a guessing game here. We saw how elite the Bucks were. Like you said, the Celtics are going to be in the finals, Malik. Obviously that had no chance.
Gas the fuck out my head.
Yeah, but
Kyrie.
anyways, let's yeah, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah, we're gonna cut that out. But anyways, let's give our finals picks. My finals picks now are the Bucks in 6 over the Rockets. I think the Rockets are gonna win this game 7 against the Warriors if it goes to it, which I obviously think it does. I think the Warriors, it's just they're in a really tough spot without KD. A really, really tough spot. You're depending way too much on Curry and Clay. I think the Rockets are going to be able to beat the Nuggets. They kind of have an edge against them. Or if they play the Blazers, it's kind of the same thing. If anything, it might be even bigger beatdown. I mean, regardless, the Rockets are going to win that series. Maybe it's close, maybe it's not, but the Rockets are going to win that series. East, I got the Bucks coming out, so... the Raptors are going to put up a fight. Maybe the Raptors beat the Bucks. I'm really I think of those teams. I kind of grade those teams the same. But I'm going to take the Bucks in 6 over the Rockets because I think the Bucks just have a little bit more firepower. The Rockets play a little bit too sloppy. The Bucks are kind of like a perfectionist team. The Bucks shoot the 3 ball insanely well. The Rockets kind of just chuck up a lot of threes. That's my finals pick. What do you guys got?
I know you can never count the Warriors out, but I'm going to go Rockets in 7 versus the Raptors. And I want Raptors to win, but if Rockets beat the Warriors, they have to win a ring. They have to. I can't go for anyone else.
Hope, right?
If Rockets go to the finals, I can't go for anyone else.
That makes sense. I mean, right now you got KD. He's hurt, so obviously
he could be back for the finals if they go there. But I'm not taking him to go there.
With KD being down, it seems like he's been shouldering most. Obviously everyone knows scores, but he's been shouldering the offensive load a lot. Every time they need a bucket, they give KD the ball. They let KD isolate, let him do his thing. And now that pressure's kind of back on Curry, Clay, and the rest of the team. It's like, are they going to perform? You know what I'm saying? I don't really know. So I think the Rockets might be able to finally steal this. And if they do, I got Rockets versus the Raptors. I don't
that last year.
I don't got the anything but the Bucks. We're not. I don't want to see the Bucks. After
this
what
Bucks
they did
hype
to the
gotta
Celtics.
stop, man.
We gotta put
Bucks aren't hype, man.
Nah, Bucks are good, but
we're gonna have a little.
I like Kawhi Leonard versus Giannis a lot. It's gonna be a very good series.
See Kawhi in the finals.
I think
So you're counting out the Sixers completely?
No, not at all. It depends what happens tonight. I think the Sixers could win tonight.
Would they win Game 7?
That didn't sound a
question. I have no idea. I really can't. I have no idea. I can't say.
Might need that $150 worth of food. We got a little side bet going on. I had Bucks Raptors. Ty had Celtics
crazy.
Sixers. So might be eating good.
I mean, I'm still rooting for the Sixers to get that, but if they do it,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, let's get into a Q&A. So we went live on Instagram today and live on Twitter. Twitter, we don't have enough followers yet to really go live. That was kind of a fail. But on Instagram, had a couple viewers. Thank you guys for tuning in. We had a couple chats with some fans, some viewers, people that we know. So be sure to catch us on Twitter and Instagram at TU Sports Pod. We'll be going live before podcasts sometimes while we're doing notes and while we're just playing music, chilling out, having a good time in the studio. And you could chat with us, ask us questions to appear on next pod. My friend Ludi, his Instagram is xprimo, XPRIM with 4 O's on Instagram. He said, "What are some long-term, short-term goals of the podcast?" Me personally, a long-term goal is to have a successful brand and to be a face of sports media and be able to give sports media a different outlook. We look at ESPN, you look at some of these bigger companies like Bleacher Report, whatever. It's kind of like robots talking. It's just stats and it's just opinions and the occasional hot take. We just want to give it to you how it is. How we look at sports, how the casual fan looks at sports. Obviously, we take it very serious. We watch every single game, but we want to give you the intake of a regular person, not a guy who's paid to just talk about sports and give out hot takes like a Skip Bayless. You know what I mean? We want to give you genuine, true info of sports. And I guess a short-term goal would be to hit 1,000 followers by the end of the summer, something like that. Nice. Slowly build it up.
Listen, man, a long-term goal. We're going to ESPN. We're making it. We're going to be courtside on games.
Well, are we selling out though? Are we going to sell it to ESPN? That's a check. I mean, look,
that's a check.
That's a check. Well, we got. That's when the time comes.
The brand is strong though. We might have to sell out. We might have to.
So, T-shirts coming soon.
Yeah, merch coming soon. That is true. We got merchandise coming soon. If you guys do want to support us, we got to split it 4 ways. So that's going to be a little difficult, but buy 6 shirts for us. But Ty, what are some short-term, long-term goals for you?
I agree. You guys both hit it on the head, both Malik and Max. I really just agree with the long-term, both of y'all goals. And all I know is right now we got these T-shirts coming soon, so just want y'all to get ready for the merchandise. We're gonna push the brand even harder with the shirts and hoodies as well. I know you ladies, you like the hoodies, so we're gonna get the hoodies for y'all too.
And Ty also selling it on his woman podcast.
Yeah,
he's got the Ty therapy picture of him in some doctor glasses. But let's get into some football. Over/under season win totals.
Ooh.
This is we missed this last week without Malik. Couldn't talk about basketball or football rather. Let's get into it right away. Browns over/under 9 wins. Malik, I know you're ready to talk about this one.
Listen,
let's go over real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm from Cleveland, but I'm gonna have to go with under 9. I don't know. That's a little. I know they got all that star power, all the hype is around them, but that's a little too much for their first season together. I know you can't say that because Odell and Landry, Baker's a problem, or he will be a problem in the future. But I'm gonna go with. I think they're gonna win 7-8. Nah, they really might go over. I don't want them to, but they really might.
Man, with that addition of Odell, I think he's going to have a crazy season finally out of that bum Eli's hands.
That's fact.
Let's see what can happen. I got him over.
That is true.
I'm going to take the under, and I think they're going to win 8 games. They're going to go 8-8.
Thank you.
So the reason I think this is because the hype is on them. All the pressure's on them. And in football, that kind of fares bad a lot. That never goes well when you have a team with just all the hype on them. Look at the Falcons, after that Super Bowl year.
Yeah.
They kind of just failed against the Eagles.
That was like a hangover.
It's a good run.
Never recovered from though.
But
it's not. It wasn't their fault.
In general, you could do it with pretty much any team. Like a team is hyped up, and usually they come crashing down. But besides that point, I think the reason the Browns are going to have a lot of flaws is a lot of their games are on primetime this year. Those primetime games are a lot harder than your average regular season game at 1 p.m. on a Sunday. You gotta, you're playing against thousands of people. Nobody wants to be embarrassed. Obviously, it's on national TV, so millions of people are watching it at home. I think there's just a lot of hype on the Browns. They have a really good team on paper. Their defense is good. Their offense is incredible. There's a lot of young guys, though. Young quarterback, second year. Obviously, the sophomore slump is something that we always talk about with football and young quarterbacks. I don't really know if the Browns are capable of pushing 10 wins. So I'm going to go under here. They might win 9 games, but that's a tough division. Big Ben twice a year, Ravens defense twice a year. It's just going to be hard for them.
I like how you mentioned the sophomore slump. Do you think it's possible he can get that with his team getting better? His team got a huge improvement.
Like, I think he's going to be a good quarterback. There's no way he's, like, terrible, obviously.
Yeah.
But his first, 4 games, like, with the Browns were incredible. Like, he was playing out of his mind. I don't think he could repeat that because that's just not, like, who he is, really. I mean, he is a first overall pick, but, watching him in college and stuff, obviously he's, like, a high-flying quarterback. Just got to expect a little more interceptions, maybe a couple more sacks. But his wide receivers and his tight end and just the O-line, they're all so good that, maybe there isn't a sophomore slump.
I think Njoku's going to have a breakout season.
Njoku's very good.
I think he's going to go crazy
Njoku's very
this
good.
season, yeah.
Let's get into the next one. Packers over under 9 wins. I'm going to start this off by saying over. I think their division is good. I think the Vikings are going to take a little step back. I kind of like the Vikings a lot, but Kirk Cousins, man, I was kind of I was rooting for Kirk Cousins last year, and he made me disappointed. But I think the Packers, I mean, really, the over here is Aaron Rodgers going to be healthy? If he's healthy, they're going to win 10 games. Like, they're always capable of that.
Yeah, always.
New coach, Aaron Rodgers, is going to be running the building. To me, this is like, carefree season. Like, he could easily win MVP. He could easily win these 10 games. Division's not a cakewalk, but, it's fair enough. They have a pretty easy schedule. To me, Packers definitely are capable of winning 9 games, 10 games. But like I said, this is a bet on if Aaron Rodgers is going to be healthy or not.
It's really a toss-up, yeah. I'm going to go with over, too, just because I'm, like, low-key a Packers fan, more of an Aaron Rodgers fan.
Yeah, I love Aaron Rodgers.
I always want to see them, like, succeed, so I'm going to have to go with over.
Yeah, over. Shout out Hail Mary Rodgers.
Hail Mary Rodgers.
All right, let's talk about the Tampa Bay Bucks. So this is like a weird one because their first 4 weeks, they're all on the road. Their one home game is in London. So they're going to have they're going to start off 4 straight weeks on the road, which is like a schedule. That's almost like no, seriously, it's
that is crazy.
That's like a scheduling error. And like if you know football like really well, back-to-back road games are tough as is. So 4 road games, and they got to travel to the UK, and they got to come back before they play one in sunny Tampa. To me, that's just difficult. And the teams they're playing too, they're pretty good. Like let me pull up their schedule.
Trash.
Yeah, like the Bucks obviously are not in a good spot. But anyways, let's talk about Jameis Winston real quick. Jameis Winston, or Jameis, I'm sorry, I always call him Jameis. That's how it's spelled. Jameis Winston. There was a funny tweet you saw on Twitter. He was letting a dude hit a golf ball over his head. Like, what if you get hit? Like, you're out for the season with a concussion.
Bro. Jameis is like, he's a clown. I have no type of respect for him, and I.
Yeah, no, I just pulled up the schedule. They play the 49ers, the Panthers, the Giants, the Rams, the Saints, the Panthers again, obviously they're in division. Seahawks on the road, Titans on the road. They have like one definite win in here. That's at home versus the Cardinals. And even then, like if Murray's really good, it's not a definite win.
This is definitely a setup.
Yeah, I'm gonna take under here.
Yeah,
under 6.5. They're gonna have a bad year.
We all got unders.
No we don't even need to talk about this.
But I actually like their offense. Like they have really good wide receivers.
I like Mike Evans.
Like they have good offensive line. Defense is a little underrated. Like their team is good. They're just in the hardest division in football. You got to play the Panthers twice a year. You got to play the Saints twice a year. You got to play the Falcons twice a year. Falcons are probably gonna go 2-0 against them. Panthers probably gonna go 1-1.
Yeah.
Saints probably 2-0. Like
I don't know if their team is good, but
they're a solid team. They're like underachieving. Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, they're trash. They're just horrible. Mike Evans is a beast though. He needs to get out of there ASAP.
But yeah,
Mike Evans is like Kemba Walker of NFL.
That's actually a good point.
Gotta get Kemba on a better team, man.
Yeah, let's talk about Kemba real quick because there was like
he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord, dude.
Kemba and KD on the Knicks. That's every Knicks fan.
Why is everyone going to the Knicks for this guy?
Going to the
Kyrie,
Knicks,
Kemba,
all right, so
live on air, man. I got KD going to the Clippers. You got KD going to the Knicks. Let's make this bet.
I got KD going to the
Nets.
Nets.
On air. I got that $20.
No, I want that offer you made earlier about the free meal and shit. Oh,
that's not a fair. That's not a fair bet. That was for Will only because he said KD was going to like some random team.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so forget that. Shout out our friend Will made a weird bet. But anyways, let's go to our betting segment. We're kind of taking this week off. But you have a pick, Ty, that you want to give out, like that Rockets. You like Rockets minus 7?
I don't. Oh,
you got to bolster that record. So
yeah, I don't really got. I don't got it. I don't got a pick. Wait, what's the spread for Raptors
tonight? It's not gonna because nobody's gonna be able to hear it.
Oh, weird.
So we decided against that.
All right, then I don't got nothing.
Yeah. So we're taking this week off, but
hey, nothing for Nuggets and Blazers. What's that?
If the game goes 7, a little Instagram live pick to bolster that record. But we kind of like the way the episode was scheduled today. It's kind of weird because the games are on like almost right now, essentially. So like we don't want to make picks for the game and then like, oh yeah, we won, but like nobody else got the bet in or was even able to like verify that pick. So let's do a quick record recap. I'm 4-1 right now. Parlay won last week, that Nuggets and Raptors parlay. Hope you guys made a lot of money on that because I think the Raptors and the Nuggets had the lead the whole time. The Nuggets definitely had the lead from wire to wire, so no sweat winner. Malik sitting at 2-2 right now. Took last week off, taking a little break, but he's gonna bounce back. Ty 2-4. Right now our combined record is looking pretty good, and I think that's all that matters most. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. Any last words?
Man, I'm teed up. Don't forget about the merch. Any color y'all want, just give us a DM at TU Sports Pod on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and then we're gonna get it out.
So let me get this last little call in. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, obviously at TU Sports Pod. Send us some questions, guys. Like if you're listening to the podcast every time, if you have a question about anything, literally anything, like obviously my friend Ludi gave us a very general question today about what are our short-term, long-term goals.
Feature.
Yeah, if you want to feature, if you're associated with sports in any single way, like if I know one of my friends, Ian, he works at Temple, like at the Temple football program, so he's behind the scenes there. He has like a really good outlook there. He'll probably be on the podcast over the summer. If you're associated with sports, hit us up if you want to feature. If you have questions or you want to talk to us about anything, just be sure to hit us up. Watch out for those Instagram and Twitter lives. We're probably going to be doing those Mondays and Thursdays before the pod. And just be sure to check us out on all social medias. I'm Brock, and I'm out.
I'm Leek, and I'm out.
And I'm Ty, and I'm out.